Hey there guys, so figured I'd show you the work in progress. So I've got both halves of at least this portion of the skirt. They're so both halves are completed, at least. Right now I am working on a little insert that I plan on placing on the inside in between the halves of the skirt. I plan on basically seaming the sides together with this in between. Stay tuned. Again, check the community tab to see my work in progress, how it's going along. Like with the skirt, I plan on making 2 of these. I know it looks small, but I plan on basically continuing this little cable pattern long enough for it to extend from the base of my skirt at this part all the way up underneath the underarm and onto the sleeve. Stay tuned. Just so you can kind of see it for yourself. Hold on. Basically, this is the skirt of it. I've got 2 halves exactly like this. I plan on joining that softer purple in between the 2 halves right here. Got this half here, plus this half. Once again, it's basically the same pattern. Same length, same size. It's going to be a large flared skirt. Okay. Essentially, this piece is gonna be placed in between as it gets longer. The very bottom of this will get placed there, essentially. I'll use an invisible seam to join these 3 pieces like that. So here's how I have basically finalized it. Granted, this is a bit of an error here. I decided to not cable this central one, but overall, you kind of hold it up like this. And basically, this little Celtic knot end towards the bottom. A few things I did change compared to the blue segment when I was just drafting it out. So basically I decided to make like ultimately 4 revisions, although so I changed the edge over here a little bit differently to make it a little bit more even when it rounds out at the top. I planned on using basically decreases in between these 2. It'll happen right there. That'll cause them more or less to close inward on each other. And basically, my goal was for things to align in such a way that I could eventually braid it. Change the alignment a little bit so I didn't quite cable in the middle here like I did on these 2. So I could just braid a little bit on the top, close it off, right there, but continue this little cable in the center. Maintain this little 2-stitch ribbing on the side with 2-stitch margins out here, so that way I have a place to seam when I put it together. I used a provisional cast on that enables me to basically pick up stitches going the opposite direction as I make the lower portion. Basically, this color will be the last piece on it. Just to deal with the lower edge of the skirt, the edges of the sleeves. Also up at the top by my head and shoulders, basically. So, those of you who have seen the profile picture I used during the months of October and November, basically that's the color scheme that I'll be using on this dress. 2 shades of purple plus a bit of gray. Once December sets in, I'll be turning it back to the original. I'll be making a second one of these, join them up, then knit from the other side using this. I think I'll use a sort of a braid like I did in this knitted frame where I was just experimenting in my earlier days before I ever considered even making a YouTube channel. I will also give you guys an update concerning the matching dog sweater for Tigger. Tigger, come here. Come on, come say hi. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on, Tigger. Let's go. Okay, hold on. Okay. Come here. Can I pick you up? Let me pick you up for a sec, okay? Yeah, so stay tuned for when I start making... Oh. Stay tuned for when I start making his sweater to match my dress. And I plan on... Whoops. Careful there. Good boy. So I plan on... I figure one thing I'll do for you guys, I won't quite assemble it before presenting it to you. Instead, I will record a time lapse of me sewing the different pieces together and completing the project in total. I do plan on making somewhat of a time lapse to at least sew or seam together the pieces, with the exception of the gray. The little bit of knitting I plan on doing with this, I will actually perhaps keep it not quite separate, but I'll at least show the process of knitting the cabled bottom and wrists of the sleeves. I will continue to give you guys updates via the community/posts tab. And I'll even give you a bit of I'll put up something to inform you guys of the next live stream I'll do, so that way you can give your remark. Hopefully I'll give you enough of a head start. Some of you will tune in when it gets around to there. Once again, thank you all for hanging in there. Let's try to grow the community. And again, I'm not desperate for the numbers in and of themselves. I care about the individual behind the number. Growing up with fake friends and a mom who didn't really care to protect me or anything like that, I know what it's like to have a fake friend or a fake fan or family who pretends to care about you. I know what that's like. As a result, I do not want to get caught up in the metrics on their own. I don't want to do that. So hang in there. Thank you all for being true fans and sticking around. And again, I will drop in a few photos of the work in progress alongside this video here in the posts/community tab, and I'll schedule a post for Gotcha Day next month for Tigger. And again, wish us luck, happy holidays, and of course, as we get closer to the end of the month, we will be dealing with the peak demands at Amazon. I'm still working there at this time, but hopefully it'll work out. Again, happy holidays to all who observe the upcoming holidays and whatnot. Stay tuned. Check the community tab for any recent posts. Always check there. It's a quick and easy way for me to drop in a little update for you all. And you can also even partake in little surveys and pick some stuff I might want to ask you to help me decide on making. Best wishes. Stay tuned.